Welcome to episode 227 of the BobbyCast, your favorite musical podcast. I'm trying out new slogans. I'm workshopping
Your
things.
favorite musical podcast?
Yeah, your favorite music podcast from Nashville. We're going to do a few things here. We're going to talk about despised bands that are crazy successful, maybe the logic as to why they're so despised, new music this week, and we'll kind of roll through some music news. Let me recommend the Luke Combs podcast, though, that we just did here. So he was at the house 4 or 5 days ago. It will be our highest streamed podcast.
Really?
We were looking at the numbers today. He's just blown up so fast.
Why are people so interested in him?
Because
Because he's so relatable?
Well, he writes first. You have to write really good songs.
Mhm.
Like all that other stuff comes in second. If you can't, you can have everything right and not write good songs. That's not going to work.
Yeah, and his songs are really good.
And he writes really good songs. So first and foremost, the songs. Secondly, he can sing as good as anyone else.
Yeah. I guess it's masked by the roughness of
Mhm.
his voice, but yes, it's very controlled. So
His texture. I mean, you think of the Shays from Dan and Shay.
Mhm.
You think of the Carries. Just the pure vocalist. But he's on that level. But because he's not shiny
mhm.
and
Yeah.
he's a little rough,
Yeah.
you don't really consume it the same way in your mind. And there is a little bit of to it. Also, I would say thirdly would be his appearance. The first two things aren't supposed to go with the third.
Yeah.
You don't normally look like a normal dude whenever you can sing really well and you write really good songs. It's just a rare combination.
Yeah.
Stapleton's a bit of that.
Right.
Although I would say Stapleton is he has a lot more character in his voice than he is a straight pure vocalist like Luke Combs. I would say Luke Combs can out-sing Stapleton. I'd say Stapleton's voice is probably a little stronger,
Wow.
or like I don't know. No one sings with the punch Luke Combs does in our studio. Like just sitting there acoustic. When Luke Combs Sunday, it's just
Yeah.
like sucks the wind out of
Yeah,
you.
and even when he talks, it's a very heavy, thick voice.
If you listen to the podcast that we did, I'm talking like this normal, but when he talks, it's right up here. And it just there's such a disparity in the levels because I didn't want to get up here and do the podcast like this too.
Yeah.
So mostly it's like me sound like this and him sounding like this. But yeah, it's just wild to think of Luke Combs from the beginning because before he had a song that was ever his first hit wasn't even a top 50 or 60 song, and I put him in my class of maybe 28, 19, and
Early.
yeah, before first hit, before he was on the verge, before any of that. And so what's been cool about that is artists usually remember that, and I don't talk about that very often, but artists usually remember the people that kind of jumped out on them first and helped them out, and I think our relationship's been good because of that. Same with Stapleton. Him and I are cool for the same reason that we had Chris coming in to play as an artist before he had really had a big artist career.
Yeah. And it's cool to see a lot of these artists open up with you just every time you interview them. From the first time you interview them, they're kind of closed off. They don't really know what to do or what to say. But then after the third or fourth time, they're just like an open book. And I bet the BobbyCast is like, we'll just tell you whatever. Ask him whatever, he'll tell you.
The great thing about this podcast is that it's just one-on-one.
Yeah.
And so they feel not pressure to perform, but when you're just talking one-on-one and you're recorded, there's a weight on you
Mhm.
to keep it going and keep it interesting. There's nowhere to go. There's no publicist. There's no other people on the show. There's not a 5-minute segment that you can just stall your way through. When people come in here, it's usually the best stuff because you're just sitting here. And sometimes I'll freeze people out and just be quiet. But just be like, yeah.
Just-
And then you feel like, oh, my God, I got to talk. They feel like I got to talk. And sometimes they'll start.
I just did that right now.
Yeah.
I don't like the silence. What do I say?
They'll start chasing their tail around until they kind of
Yeah.
catch where I want them to go.
Yeah.
And I'll
Wow.
let them go sometimes. Just go. We'll get it. We'll get there. There he is. He got it.
Mhm.
So, but it was, the Luke Combs podcast was really good. But today, Eddie, by the way, check out Eddie's podcast, The Sore Losers, which is a sports show with Eddie, Raymundo, and Lunchbox, and sports and also funny guy stuff.
Yeah.
So I want to get that plug in
Thank
there.
you.
You're
Appreciate that.
Which is the only reason you do this, to get your plugs.
That's the only reason I come here, yeah.
Yeah.
You
How-
make me drive from my house to yours to do
Well,
this.
the studio's here. How far is your house from my house?
It's just under 30 minutes. I try to time it out perfectly. If I leave 25 minutes, I'm going to be late, or just right on time. So it's just right between 25 and 30 minutes. But it's weird. It's a straight shot. It feels like it should be a lot shorter, but it's not. It's not. And man, there are a lot of houses for sale in your area. I might just move a little closer here. I counted like 10 houses for sale. I'm like, whoa, that's a nice one. That's a nice one. But they're probably expensive. Right?
See, that's all you got to do is sit. You just sit quietly.
And just keep going.
Just
Okay,
keep
well, the
going.
reason I think they're expensive.
I'm just sitting here looking. But you feel how you're like, oh, God, I got to keep going.
Yeah. Ask me whatever. I'll tell you
And
anything.
you know what I'll do? I'll move my head off the mic, too, like I just did you. So it doesn't look like I'm going to say anything. I'll lean my head away over here. So
just keep going. What else am I going to do?
My mouth's not even near the mic, so you know I'm not going to save you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's a lot of houses for sale in here.
There really are. Shocked.
Man,
A lot of people moving from that, moving away, I guess.
Get you a deal.
Yeah, right. It's the perfect market.
You know what I watched today was that movie you told me to watch on Netflix, Shot in the Dark?
The long shot.
The long shot.
Yes. Short.
It's a 40. I got a couple things I watched. It's a 40-minute documentary about a guy who they said killed a girl.
Correct.
A 16-year-old girl.
Yes, he's accused of murdering a 16-year-old girl.
Because his brother was on trial for murder, and he went to watch it, and that girl is the one that helped put his brother away. So they just said, well, it looks like you, and you were in the courtroom.
Yes.
It's now you.
Yes, most importantly, it looks like you because they just depended on a sketch that one witness that saw in the dark, saw what this guy looked like, sketched it up, and this guy kind of looked like it, so they arrested him.
I'll talk about that for a second because there were a lot of guys that look very similar. They had like 20 sketches like, exactly like this dude.
Oh, yeah, Mexican-American, like you put a mustache, even on me, like right now, I probably kind of look like that dude.
Just a mustache.
Yeah, and shave my head. Yeah.
And so they put him in. And then they were actually shooting. He went to the Dodgers game, and he was like, it's the Dodgers game. But they can't
Well, at
find
first
him.
they were just like, well, how can you prove you weren't there? He's like, I don't know. And it's funny, too. Like, if you do something, a year or a few months away, and you just tell him, what were you doing this random Thursday? I don't know if I could tell you what I was doing. I have to really think about it. And he's like, oh, yeah. I was at a Dodgers game.
Well, it may be good for me than to have every minute of every day in my calendar.
That probably
I
does
could probably
help.
get out of murder then pretty easy. But yeah, you're right. So he's like, yeah, I was at a Dodgers game. They put his daughter on the stand, by the way. She was 6.
Gosh, that was painful to watch.
And they asked her, what did you get? But she freaking knew it.
She did.
And so they went into the Dodgers camera system and found him, but the resolution wasn't close enough. So they're like, all right. So then Curb Your Enthusiasm is shooting there. And he happens to be in a freaking scene of Curb Your Enthusiasm. But then, there's a lot of but then, so I won't stop it there. You should watch it. But it was only 45 minutes. Pretty good.
Yeah, the lawyer was just on a chase to find footage of him to prove that he was at that Dodgers game. Pretty crazy.
Larry David shows up in the documentary,
He
too.
does.
The whole thing, it's not a series. It's one episode. Again, less than an hour. But it's pretty good.
Yeah, the long shot.
I also watched, I think, 4 episodes of the Justin Bieber documentary.
Oh, yeah, how's that?
Good.
You're already starting to like Bieber a little bit.
My mind has been altered of Bieber because of people that know Justin. So my girlfriend now kind of knows him a little bit. She goes to church with him. She's like, he's the greatest guy. He's super nice. Once you're like there, he's so approachable. He plays soccer with like friends. And so
You wouldn't think that by reading just the internet.
well, I guess
or
I would
seen stuff.
compare it to someone like, let's just compare it to someone like a Keith Urban right here in Nashville. If you know him, you can just go up to his house and hang out, and it's not a big deal. If you're like already in, but if not, it's probably impossible. If you're just a fan, it's probably impossible to get to him. But yeah, I like him a little bit because he's supposedly really nice and super cool. Not the same as us. The kid's been famous since he was
True, yeah.
10, 11, 12.
Was he that young?
How old was Bieber?
Probably like 12.
You think
With Baby?
Yeah.
there's a part in the maybe second episode, third episode where he goes and they have a clip of him meeting his wife
Haley
for the
Baldwin.
first time. But he's like 12, she's like 11,
Wow.
and he's like, you know, I kind of remember it. He goes, I remember meeting Stephen Baldwin, and he goes, Stephen Baldwin's daughter was there, and most kids are like, ah, and she was like, what? And they show a clip, and she's like half asleep and does not give a crap. She's like, yeah, okay. It's like she got drugged to a morning show to have to meet Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
And she does not care.
Can you imagine just being around famous people so much that when you see Justin Bieber, you're like, whatever.
And so they have that clip. It's pretty good. All the episodes, I bring it up because we mentioned that episode of that
Long
Netflix
shot.
documentary is they're only like 10-minute episodes.
Oh, that's cool.
So I
That'll
think
get you through a lot, I guess. Right?
yeah, maybe watch 4 of them. But and it's pretty good. I wouldn't pay the $49.99 for the whole YouTube TV service
Yeah.
unless I was on my computer or phone all the time watching all my TV from my computer and phone. I guess if I were gonna do what we're doing now, I'd do like turn the volume up, Mike.
Oh yeah, my bad.
No, I felt like I was.
Luke Combs in it over there.
Jeez. I don't know that I would watch Hulu Live as my main live TV. Amazon's got pretty good live TV.
Do they?
Well, Amazon, where you can get all the channels via the app, but you can watch all the live sports through all the packages, and they're right there as part of Amazon Prime.
That's where I am right now. There's just so many options. I don't know what to do. For sure, I'm getting rid of cable. I mean, I just have to get rid of cable now. Problem is, my internet is tied to my cable, so I got to figure out a way to keep the internet.
You can do that, though.
So I'll probably do that. But, man, with all the options out there of all the live TV, especially sports and my old movie channel, yeah, I'll probably end up just getting rid of cable soon.
The only things that I watch are The Office on Netflix every day, sports, and CNN. That's basically it.
You're an old man.
Yeah.
And I fart and I watch sports and CNN, The Office. You know what I watched that was pretty good, and I might watch the entire thing if, I don't know, see what happens. Gilmore Girls. It just came on, like one episode of Gilmore Girls.
Hey, Mike, it just came on.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Randomly.
Go ahead.
And I was like, I can get into this. The first episode got me. It's really good.
Of the new Gilmore Girls
no,
or from like
from the
2000s
90s.
to the 90s?
I think it's 90s, 2000 or something, because I can tell from the music that they're using. It's pretty old.
Is that I Don't Want to Wait? Or is that
No.
That's Dawson's Creek.
That's Dawson's Creek. Something like that. I think a lot of like Sarah McLachlan may be in there. I don't know. But it's definitely that soundtrack.
Why is it good, though, to you right now?
Because she's a single parent, and I watched Parenthood, which is a really good show too. I watched that a couple years ago. But the girl on Parenthood's in Gilmore Girls. She's one of the main girls. Lorelai, I guess, is her character. But it was just the way they set up the first pilot was really good. It was like she's a single mom, and she can't afford to pay for her daughter's school, so she asks to ask her rich parents for money. And her parents are like just distant, no connection at all, no emotional connection to her parents. But they're like, sure, we'll give you money, but we got to be more involved in your life. And they're like, da-dun. And it seemed kind of interesting. Like, all right, this could go somewhere cool.
I think it went somewhere cool.
Yeah.
And it's since ended, right, Mike?
Yeah. 2000, 2007.
Well, as far as
Eddie's
I'm going to watch.
I saw the first episode of The Munsters. I'm really looking forward to seeing where this goes.
This thing may have a future.
I got through the first half of Knives Out.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe the first
It's a
third.
movie. It's a
Have you
movie.
seen it, Mike?
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh, really?
No. I heard mixed things about it.
Is it British?
I was really looking for a review. No. It's
It's like a mystery, right?
Well, again, I've only seen the first third of it. It seems like kind of Clue.
Why are you watching movies in thirds?
First of all, shut up.
Like, you should watch a movie in its entirety. Make time to watch a movie.
The other movies I've seen are very long. I watched
yes.
Netflix. What's that? Long?
Irishman?
Yeah, too long, right? So I watched it in
Very
halves.
long.
The movie with Brad Pitt and DiCaprio, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Did you like it?
Almost 3 hours. Watched it in 2 parts. This one, we were watching it last night and fell asleep. And so paused it, obviously. I can't do long. That's what she said.
Okay.
But I can't do long.
All right. It's what, 2.5 hours, 3
That's
hours.
so long. I like a movie about an hour 47 minutes.
That's been our whole life, though. Our whole life we've been watching movies that long. 2 hours.
Hour 47 minutes is about my perfect time.
Okay.
Yours, Mike?
I'd say, yeah, like 150. If it's 150, that's solid.
By the way, check out Mike's podcast, Movie Mike's Movie Podcast. Joe, have you seen Knives Out?
Not yet.
No. Dang, nobody's seen Knives Out.
Sorry, dude.
I know. Despised bands that are crazy successful. And let's start with Nickelback. Really one of the most successful bands of all time.
How many hits?
Let's see here.
Under 10.
Nickelback sold over 50 million albums.
Dang, okay.
They rank as the second best-selling international act in the 2000s. Who do you think they're behind? The second best international act of the 2000s, only behind one act. I bet I know who you're going to say.
The 2000s?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. You don't know?
Radiohead?
The Beatles.
Oh.
More than U2, more than
Really?
Radiohead, more than...
Is this factual?
Mhm.
I look at Mike. He confirms.
Through nearly a decade, pop culture has been incredibly cruel to Nickelback.
Some-
I've always been a lover of them more so than I think I would be because of all the hate on them. Like I would just kind of sit at a 6.5 normally because they have songs we know and like. But because everybody hates them, I kind of feel bad for them. So I put them at like a 7.3 because of that.
Sometimes I think we get tricked
Bye.
into liking something.
What do you mean? But the songs are good. You
Like
sing them.
sometimes I think that they're just on the radio so much that we're like, all right, whatever. It's like you say sorry. All right, it's not a bad song. But if you heard that once, I think 90% of the people that heard that once were like, this sucks.
I don't think so. I think there were a lot of songs you only heard once and never sang back.
Yeah, there are a lot. Yes,
And
but I
Nickelback
think we
had
heard this
so
too
many
much.
number ones. They had
Ugh.
so many number ones.
How many?
Do we need to look at the? We've looked at the list. It's like 8, 9, 10, 11 songs.
All right.
They even had songs on super soundtracks.
Yeah, Spider-Man. I remember that one.
Mm-hmm. So you just want to be a hater because
No.
of Chad Kroger's hair?
No.
How it was long and like.
No.
Yeah, you do. I don't understand the hate. Like, tell me why you're a hater.
I just at the time that came out to me, that was like, it's easy music. Sometimes it's just like,
But why isn't everybody doing it? If it's so, it's like Sam Hunt and Body Like a Back Road. People go, that song's so easy to write. Then why don't you write it?
I don't think I can write it, but I think that most people don't try to do that because they don't want to get stuck doing that. Like, all right, it's easy music. Like where's Nickelback now? There's no longevity in Nickelback.
There's no longevity in almost any of those bands in the 2000s or any decade. The longevity, 50 million albums.
Nickelback does a tour again and they sell out.
Yes,
They're touring this year, yeah.
they do.
I don't know. I don't know. That's just where my mind is with them. Just like
It's because you've been tainted by the media.
No.
And I love the media. I'm not a media hater, but you listen to people say they suck. Otherwise, they would just go away and that'd just be a band you didn't care for at the time.
Well, why are they the most despised band?
Because it became a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It became like it's cool to hate Nickelback. And I probably would too, except everybody was hating on them.
So you just want to defend them.
Yeah.
All right.
They won't even do interviews because they know half the questions will be about everybody hating them.
Can you imagine? That'd be terrible.
They still sell a lot of concert tickets, and they'll probably still be laughing 10 years from now because
With all their money.
The billionaires.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Dave Matthews Band.
Oh, people hate him? People hate him because they jam.
And now here's a little clip of Dave Matthews Band.
He wakes up in the morning, does his teeth bite to eat.
Now, I'll say this. I love Dave Matthews Band. I think any criticism of them is unfair. I think they should have been put in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year because they were so different. Dave Matthews Band has sold over 33 million albums in the United States. In 2018, they scored the biggest week for a rock album in years and years. They've had the #1 most consecutive studio albums. So they're basically a 90s college band. Right now, the band's worth an estimated $72 million.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I guess if you weren't in the 90s, early 2000s with them, you would definitely hate them because they continue to put out music. And I'll be honest, I never listened to it.
I do. I listen to some of it. I like the emo stuff.
You do?
I like emo Dave, where it's sad. We're Dave Matthews, you're a sad guy. I'm going to play you a sad song right
Like
now.
the last I remember of really listening to Dave Matthews was "Where Are You Going?"
Yeah, jam. I used to play that on the radio.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
But after that, I kind of fizzled out just because I love Dave. I was a huge Dave fan. I do love Dave Matthews Band. So I've never hated him. Loosen, cut.
I love Dave Matthews Band. So
Yeah, suck an egg.
I'll give Nickelback a 7.3. What do you give them? We'll rank them all.
1.
Oh, what a hater.
Get out of
one?
here. Like, just
That's-
get off the
You're
map.
so stupid.
Erase yourself.
Dave Matthews Band.
Oh, a 9.
Yeah.
Dave Matthews Band is great.
I give him 8.5. 9
You're-
for me.
You're
though,
right.
is-
They changed music.
Yeah.
You heard-
A
when-
white guy from South Africa
Yes.
getting a predominantly black band and a 15-year-old bassist.
Yes, who they had to sneak into bars
Yeah.
because he wasn't old enough to play with them.
My manager put the freaking band together
Amazing.
in Charlottesville.
Yeah, I know. I love that.
Okay, we'll move on. Let's hear a clip from Creed.
We're the arms wide open. We're the arms wide open.
Is that Thunder?
Yeah.
Has that always been in there?
Who cares?
Mike, did you add Thunder to this?
I did add thunder to that.
Okay, so I loved the Creed. I was part of the Creed revolution back in the day.
You're so dumb.
I went to Creed shows.
No, you did not.
I did. I went to 2.
Did you pay for the tickets? Be honest with me.
I'm trying to think. I was probably in radio at the time.
Yeah, so you
I
got it
didn't,
for
so I
free.
didn't have to pay, but I'd have to go. But
Single,
I'd
nothing
have
to
stay.
do.
I'd have to stay. I played ping pong with Scott Stapp once.
Really?
He came in. He was like, "Hey man, Scott Stapp."
You talk like that too?
Yeah, and I was like, "Hey man, what's happening?" He goes, play any ping pong?" And I didn't. I was like, "Yeah, of course." And he beat me like 15-0 and just walked out of the room.
Oh, like he knew you'd never
yeah.
play.
They've
You lied
sold
to me.
58 million records worldwide, more than Nickelback.
They got tricked.
So they were what? No, they
People got tricked again.
no one's getting tricked.
You know why I didn't like him? Because he stole my boy's voice, Eddie Vedder. Like that was Pearl Jam.
You sound like DMX and Ja
Pearl
Rule
Jam
right now.
owned Eddie Vedder owned
He
that
didn't
voice.
own that.
Yeah, oh my gosh, he was the first. I know Jeremy, and then here comes this dude with arms wide open. People make when people do a Creed voice, they do an Eddie Vedder voice.
Okay, so this is personal. So this was called butt rock,
Excuse me.
the butt rock genre. Heavily distorted guitars. They say paint by number songwriting,
Boom.
deeply graveling male vocals.
Paint by numbers songwriting. I love that.
A lot of that
That's
happens
so
here,
good.
though.
Sure, but you can't deny a good song, and I don't hear good songs
Yeah,
when I hear
I can
Creed.
list you a lot of them. My Own Prison.
I know the song.
Arms Wide Open. My Sacrifice. God, they had a lot of good songs.
Stop.
Okay, where would you put Creed? I give Creed 7.2.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Below Nickelback, I'll put him at 0.5.
Wow, below Nickelback?
Yep.
You like Creed less than Nickelback?
Correct.
At least Creed's American.
It's not about that.
And then
I love the Beatles. They're British. Who cares?
Creed split apart, and then they were Altered Bridge, the rest of the band without Scott Stapp.
Is he okay now?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think he's had his moments in and out, but I'm not sure.
God, when that video resurfaced, that was like people were worried for him.
He'll probably send you a cameo for $1.
Let's see how much his cameo's worth.
See if Scott Stapp does cameos.
If it's less than $1, I'll buy one for you, Bones. I'll buy it right now. Mike D, I'll give you my
see
credit
if
card.
Scott Stapp is on Cameo. I get people all the time asking me, "Hey, will you do Cameo?"
Why don't you do it?
Because I don't want to
You
do
do
that yet.
you do that for free too.
Yeah. And
Oh, I got it.
Oh,
How much do you think?
okay, for real, I'm gonna say a Scott Stapp Cameo, $50.
I say it's high demand because it's a good
Idiots
joke.
like us.
It's a good joke to get Scott Stapp to call your friend. I would say $30.
Way off.
How much?
$500.
What?
Oh my God.
Bones, you need to get on Cameo.
Well, you could make some good money.
Wow.
I know. But do you guys look at Cameo? There's some big people on there. Mike, I'll ask you this too. Do you look at Cameo as a desperate thing?
A little bit, yeah. As like an extra way to like, oh, here I'm on Cameo.
I feel bad for people.
Right, 'cause
Yeah,
if
the
I-
celebrities that I don't know on Cameo, I feel bad for them.
If I got on Cameo, people would be like, all right, you're trying to milk everything for money now?
But isn't that kind of tell you that everyone is a celebrity in a weird way? Like we don't look at that list. Really, if you look at that list, you'll probably only see like 20 people that you really know.
Probably more than that, but
More?
But yeah, but Jake Owen like does it for charity. He doesn't get the money. So I
Yeah,
thought-
that's cool. But
yeah.
and I looked, and not a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
Like really, not a lot.
How much was Jake for charity, Mike?
Let's see.
I thought
100?
about doing this Cameo game on the air, but I thought it would give him a bunch of free promotion.
Cameo.
Yeah.
It's a good bit.
Jake's $100.
Oh yeah,
That's cool.
Moderately
Yeah.
priced, and he gives all the money away.
And Scott Stapp $500. Crazy.
Yeah. Smash Mouth, and here's a clip from Smash Mouth.
Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get the show on, get
So I will compare Smash Mouth to another band later in this list where they didn't end up how they started out. They kind of had some success, and it just altered what music they made because they realized they could be superstars with massive hits.
Right.
And so they were a ska punk act, and they were a legitimate ska punk act. By the way, they'll be at their anniversary is like 23 years tomorrow.
Wow. And they're still going.
So they were in a Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah, they were. I saw them in a commercial today.
It kind of is a joke, but yeah, hey,
Right.
Steve Harwell from Smash Mouth is on there.
Cameo.
Yeah.
It'd be cheaper than Scott Stapp.
Smash Mouth has sold more than 10 million albums, but they had hits with not easy, but the very down the middle stuff, like All Star, Walking on the Sun, I'm a Believer, which was a remake from the Monkees.
Yeah. That was on the movie Shrek.
Yeah. And so, they started to go, wow, we're mainstream famous doing not that ska or punk stuff. But they had Walking on the Sun. Feels like I'm walking on a yeah.
Yeah, it's a good song.
So they had this pop stuff, and they started to go, why are we making this ska punk stuff when we can just do the pop stuff?
I don't hate them. I've never hated them. Like, even when they came out, I liked their sound. The Walking in the Sun sound was really cool. I mean, I liked it all the way. And I don't hate on bands making money. Like,
You just hated on Creed.
no. Creed was just terrible. Creed was terrible.
They weren't.
And the fact people loved them, like, get out of here. No one loved Creed.
No one loved. Yes, they did. They've sold 50 million albums.
No one loved
I
Creed.
went to 2 different shows.
Smash Mouth, like, if you find a way to be 50 and still make music and making money, do it.
Smash Mouth has allegedly had a beef with Smashing Pumpkins for years. That'd be a funny fight. After their catchy anthem was picked over a song for Shrek. Because they were,
Oh, wow.
Smashing Pumpkins had a song up for it.
Billy Corgan was fighting for a Shrek spot. See him.
Aren't we all?
Him to me, though, he'd be on Cameo for sure.
Billy Corgan?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, let's see. Is Steve Harwell on Cameo?
He is
Mike?
not, or the band is not.
Wow. See if Billy
Because they're
Cor-
still making money.
I bet you Billy Corgan's not, though.
I don't know. Some of the business decisions I've seen him make.
He is not.
Give me your Smash Mouth ranking.
I'll put him at 8.
That's really high.
Yeah, because I like Smash
Like
Mouth.
10 is John Mayer to me and Garth Brooks.
Oh, you're right. Let me bring him down a little bit. I'll go 5 then. 5, right down the middle.
I give him a 3.8.
Wow. Why so
I
low?
don't like Smash Mouth that much.
Why not?
They let me down. I was way more into their early stuff.
They let you down.
I mean, I give them a 4.
Did you watch the end of Shrek when all the
But
cast
that's-
members are
that's-
singing?
but
When
that's
I was
how.
like,
Right? No, I didn't.
That's good stuff.
Right, but that's what people know them for now. I don't know them from that. I just know them from the early radio stuff that I played. I'm not a hater.
Example. I bought my son an electric guitar, and we just plugged it in today for the first time. And he's like, and I held it, and he goes, "Can you play Smash Mouth?" Like, out of nowhere, he asked that.
So there's a different connection. To
And
me.
he's 12 years old. That's cool, man.
What if he would have said, "Dad, can you play Creed?"
No, I mean, get out of here. No,
You'd break the
you're
guitar,
grounded.
You smash it over your knee. Hated band, Insane Clown Posse. I'll play you a clip of
Never
ICP.
really, yeah.
So their whole thing was they're painted up. I would say like Kiss, right? They had a whole paint thing. They're white rappers. They are kind of grungy, chubby. Their songs are about sometimes death, like weird stuff, right, Mike?
Yeah, pretty weird stuff.
Hmm.
And so, like a lot of like horror
What year was this? Like 2000s?
before that.
Really?
I would say before that.
I remember hearing that, but I didn't know who sang that. I didn't really even try to research who sang that.
And they were very independent,
Huh.
but they made a lot of money. Last year, Psychopathic, the record label, made more than $10 million.
Last year?
Mm-hmm. They have the Gathering of the Juggalos, a 3-day festival. It's been going on for almost 20 years.
Oh, Joe just shook his head like he knows. Big fan.
You like ICP?
I'm okay with them, but I've researched the thing.
What's the thing?
It's like everyone paints up like clowns.
Oh,
and
you
they
mean
go
the
to
festival?
giant festival,
And they
it's
spray
like-
soda on each other.
Really?
It's real weird.
Yeah.
Wow. We
So
should try that, Bones, next year.
I don't know enough about them to give them a real rating because I,
Yeah, I
I
don't
was
either.
never into them enough to not be into them.
Yeah, I don't know anything
'Cause
about
I feel like all the rest of we were so exposed to, we could hate them or love them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give it an I, my number, an incomplete, because I don't really have exposure to them. I would know. You know what I know them most from is Howard Stern. They would go on that show all the time.
Really?
Mm-hmm. In interviews,
Did he like him?
liked them as people. I don't know if he liked their music. He said they were nuts. Yeah. Limp Bizkit. Here's
Ooh, it's a good one.
11. There you go. I loved Limp Bizkit. I loved them. I loved them.
Yeah. All of them, all the tenses.
See if Fred Durst on Cameo. People, they did a ranking of most obnoxious acts of all time, and Limp Bizkit is most of the time at number 1 in all of these. They are, let's see, there's a lot of stuff written here about them. They killed 90s music. They kind of came in after the grunge stuff,
did,
though.
yes.
You know what grunge did to the hair metal, the glam metal?
Yep.
Limp
That's what Limp
Bizkit,
Bizkit did.
Korn, POD.
That's right.
That was kind of the group that like big, anthemic,
Mm-hmm.
heavy, distorted guitar, but rap.
Yeah.
White guy rap over it.
And that was early 2000s.
I loved it. Could not get enough of it.
There was definitely a kind of person that was into that.
But
I think.
But me.
What is that? And what
I
kind of
don't
person
know.
were you?
Just me. I'm the person.
It was just felt it in your heart.
I have a friend. It was both of our really close friend, Brandon Ray, and he'll text me and be like, "Dude, let's go drive around and listen to Limp Bizkit." And the thing
There you go.
He's not kidding.
No,
We've done
he's
that a
dead
couple times. We'll go
serious.
drive around and catch up and listen to Limp Bizkit.
Who I really did think they were interesting. Who was their guitarist? Mike
Monkey.
Wes.
Wait, isn't it Wade or something?
Wait, wasn't it Monkey?
Yeah, they did call him Monkey.
Yeah.
but his real
I mean,
name was
sorry,
like
I don't really know. I'm just,
they called him Monkey,
I'm
right?
just, yeah.
But he was. I remember him. He looks
Wes Borland.
Wes Borland.
Monkey, right?
Yes, it was Monkey. I remember that for sure.
And then Kentucky Fried Chicken Head.
Who's that? Oh, the was it the bassist?
But
Isn't that Guns N' Roses?
maybe.
Your Buckethead. You're talking about Buckethead.
Oh.
He wasn't in Limp
Oh,
Bizkit.
okay, go ahead.
But it was something interesting about
Tell me
them.
about it.
I never was into them, and I would be the one that would go along and say that they did kill
Don't do that.
music
Don't do
for that moment, because at that time I remember specifically the Strokes were doing their thing, and Limp Bizkit and those guys, everything you said, POD and all those guys were doing their thing, and I wanted the Strokes to hit so hard so they can just get rid of whatever was happening with music there. The Strokes, Franz Ferdinand, all that movement. I'm like, fight, and get rid of all this junk. While you and Brandon Ray were out like loving life.
Loved them. I remember on Napster whenever Fred Durst and Aaron Lewis did "It's Been a While," maybe it's been a while, or
Yeah.
no, because I'm on the outside, I'm looking.
Looking.
That's what it was. They
Fred
did
Durst
it,
was
they
on
did
that?
it live on that tour. It was
I do remember
freaking
that.
Great. It was like Fred Durst, everybody. Ah, it's great. It's great. They used Limp Bizkit's music to torture criminals.
I get it.
They would like take these people from other countries.
Is that real? Did they really do
Uh-huh.
that? The tortured thing where they play music?
They often do Limp Bizkits.
Okay.
Whatever. I loved it. I thought
What
the
do you
coolest
rate 'em?
thing on MTV was when Fred Durst was listening to his own music. He was like, "I love my own music." He turned it up and drove off.
What a douche.
Yeah. I'm not arguing. It's not. I mean, of all the bad bands, they're probably the highest for me. Maybe my scale was wrong. Maybe we should have just done a bad band scale.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I
Okay.
put Smash Mouth so high.
Well, then 9 on the bad band.
Oh,
scale.
really? On the bad band scale? I'd put him at 4. I didn't mind it because there were some songs that they came out, so it's pretty cool.
God, they had
And-
so many.
And then Monkey to me, it was really interesting.
But let's see. Mike, pull up the Limp Bizkit playlist. here.
Okay.
They had so many, dude.
Yeah.
They had when they did the
What was the cover they did?
Behind
Behind
Blue
Blue Eyes.
Eyes.
That's good stuff.
'Cause I
Yeah.
dream they are so
empty.
faith.
Faith. Oh my gosh.
So
So they started. This was their first,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So they started with a cover, which is
yeah. They used to play
Makes
this on
sense.
MTV like crazy. And that one scene when it goes, the whole crowd's jumping up and down.
yes, I
Ang-
remember that. I mean,
angry,
like, wow.
Angry white kids that really had nothing to be angry about.
Well, that was grunge too.
you know,
Angry white kids. Your life is good.
yes. Why are you so mad? This song was the jam.
Oh.
What else you got on there, Mike?
You got break stuff.
Oh, yeah,
What was
Break
this
Stuff was a
one?
jam. Play this one, too. It's just one of them things.
Of course.
Yeah.
Rolling my way.
Oh,
my
rolling,
generation.
rolling.
Here, keep rolling.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
my way, you're the highway. Back up. Tell me what you want to do now. Man, this is a jam. This still comes on. I'm like, where did this go?
Where
Keep
does this come up?
rolling,
Where does this,
rolling.
what station are you
I
listening to? Where
don't
this
know.
comes
Maybe in my head. Okay, so what else? Rolling, what else?
My generation.
Jam.
Oh,
Do you know this one?
no, I'm thinking. Let me see.
This is rock and roll.
Okay.
It's rock and roll for people that want rock and roll. It's rap people that want rap. Those guitars. What else you got?
Those are the biggest streaming ones, yeah.
And then they had Behind Blue Eyes. You know, sing that originally?
Yeah, The Who. Come on. Did The Who sing this one too? Is that a? Oh, listen to that.
This is good.
This was good. I remember when this came out. My friend Dave in college was so into them, and I was.
No one knows what it's like to be the sad man. There it is.
No one knows what it's like.
It was cool that he wasn't screaming too.
Yeah, and the whole never in the song,
Mhm.
I don't think. Sad man. It makes them sad and bad. Behind blue eyes,
It was monkey harmonizing.
knows what it's like to be hated,
Mm-hmm.
to be faded. Yeah.
Only lies. Take a bounce.
But my dreams, they are as empty as my conscience seems to be. All right. Thank you, Mike. We could go down. You love them. That's the thing.
No, I
All
don't.
these bands, you love their songs
I don't
privately.
though. I don't.
This is, yeah. And here's another one. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We got a bunch.
A lot of hated.
Maybe
bands.
I don't go through all of these, but we can roll over something quickly. But this one is one that switched up their sound once they had a bit of hit, and it was Sugar Ray.
Oh yeah.
So their deal was out the window. They were hard.
Yeah, they were really hard. They were on tour with, I think, who we just played. What's the band we just played?
Limp Bizkit?
Yeah, Limp Bizkit. Limp Bizkit and like
disrespect them by not knowing
311.
their name.
That's what they were categorized as, that
Well,
kind of band.
Their whole first record was hardcore except for Fly.
Yeah.
It was.
Yep.
And then they had that one song, I Just Want to Fly.
Yeah.
And that song blew up. So then they were like, F this.
Yeah. Take the
Let's
distortion
do
off a little
fun
bit.
pop, sing song. They had a good looking frontman, Mark McGrath.
Yeah, who later was a host on some TV
I
show.
probably still is, right?
Is he?
One of
On
the-
extra?
That's true.
Mhm.
That's how good of a band they were. No, but
What were they-
I liked them. I really did like them, and I liked Every Morning. I love.
Every
Oh,
morning.
dude.
That's my least favorite one.
Really?
It was one of their biggest ones.
Oh, that's
yeah.
my favorite one.
Yeah. The Goo Goo Dolls, and
Why would people hate them?
I loved the Goo Goo Dolls.
Yeah, they're good.
Loved them because they were so manicured.
So
All the sappy songs like Iris and Slide.
it's good stuff.
I agree.
Oh, okay. You're not arguing with me.
He had the long hair.
Yeah, he was beautiful.
Yeah.
It's good looking.
I think they hated him for that for the most part. Train.
Kind of hated them. I loved Meet Virginia though. That's the one where I liked them at the beginning, and then they went really pop. And I guess props to them because they really did change their music with every single time music changed. Like they went from Meet Virginia all the way to what's the, I guess Hey Soul Sister. No, there's the
Yeah.
ukulele one.
Well, they have a
Is
new
that it?
one too that came out.
Yeah,
pretty
they
recently.
keep
Pretty
going,
good.
and
Yeah.
it sounds like okay, it fits with whatever's on the radio still.
He's such a good singer. I've never thought even that they were in that group of lame bands. This is
There you go.
Yeah. I love them. I have nothing bad to say about them. I hate they made this list because I can't do it.
I'm split because I love bands that have backbones. They stand for something, or they're like
But they do. They stand for something.
they just change. They evolve with the time, which is cool.
But so do we
it's
as
hard,
humans.
It's hard
What if
to,
people said Eddie changed over his life? He just didn't have a backbone.
but it's hard to do. Like it's hard for bands to do it. Aerosmith did it. You know, they were one that did it, where like they were hardcore 70s classic rock and then moved to, 90s kind of pop. They
have backbone.
they're able to do it. Not a lot of bands are able to do it, but they didn't. The fact that you can mold is kind of like you're a chameleon. You can just kind of do whatever, which is cool in a way, but at the same
it's
time,
the greatest.
you stand
It's
for
what
nothing,
Maroon
man.
5's doing.
Another
they
band.
put freaking disc.
Are they on the list?
Yeah, they'll get there.
Yeah.
Matchbox 20.
I'm not crazy, I'm just a little unwell. I know right now you
Ready?
can't tell.
1, 2, 3. Love them.
Yeah, love them.
Great.
Can't get enough.
They're so good.
They put out a record now. I'm listening.
Of course.
Yeah, heroically vanilla pop is what this says. It was just straight
Who said that?
white America vanilla pop. One of these articles. Hootie and the Blowfish.
Come on.
This they're 10 for me on the scale. They're my favorite. I love them. One of the biggest bands of my lifetime. Love them
And people hated them.
because it was the people that really didn't want to let grunge music go.
I got a bootleg one time of Pearl Jam playing this thing with, it's called the Bridge School Festival. Bridge School, I think, benefit concert in San Francisco. Neil Young puts it on, and a lot of bands, there are like 30 bands, and they raise money for this Bridge School, which is school for, I think, handicapped people, and people with physical disabilities. And so Hootie comes on in this bootleg, and you can hear everyone, because this is the time where like people just got camcorders and recorded the show. And you can hear everyone like, blank Hootie, get off the stage, you suck, Hootie. Like everyone around them, like, dang, dude, I never knew people hated him that much.
They just hated him because they blew up so much. Like they wouldn't hate him if they were just a band playing, but because they were so massive, the bigger they got, the less people liked them. But
And so good.
in 1995, that record, Cracked River, went 16 times platinum. 16 million records.
It's crazy.
But they couldn't catch a break because people didn't want to say goodbye to grunge music. I loved them. I still love them. My favorite.
Have you seen them
Mm-mm.
play?
Mm-mm.
I mean, now once they came back.
Oh, back in the day, I did.
Yeah, I know you did that.
I had iHeart Festival,
Oh, okay.
and they were great. But I haven't seen them like at a Hootie show. I could never get out there. Maroon 5 is another one here. They're like Maroon 5 was a super talented act that sold out. That's one of the sellout acts.
Moves like Jagger, I've got them moves like Jagger, I've got them moves like Jagger.
And, they were a rock band,
Yeah.
and now they'll put any kind of music in there. I like their stuff, but you're right. There's really not passion from. You never get people that go, "I'm the biggest Maroon 5
Yeah.
fan,"
Because they stand for nothing. It's just they keep doing.
but they make a lot of money.
They do make a lot of money, and props to Adam Levine.
And they played the Super Bowl last year.
They did. I feel like he could have just left that band and just continued Adam Levine, but to leave him Maroon 5 and keep doing what they're doing is really cool because no one knows who the band is.
Imagine Dragons. People hate Imagine Dragons.
Really? Sellouts? Is that why they hate him?
Even like other rock bands hate them. Like Slipknot got into a whole thing, right, Mike?
Yeah. Corey Taylor hates Imagine
Really?
Dragons.
He said
yeah.
they're worse than Nickelback, where Nickelback was the number one,
Oh,
but now
gosh.
Imagine, yeah. And so, but people hate them because I think they're so generic, white, angry guy that lifts weights rock.
Sure. Wears little shorts.
Like bro rock.
Yeah, I get that. I don't agree with it, but I get
They
it.
make good songs.
Yeah, I like all their songs.
Anything you think was missed on this list? It's kind of compiled from a bunch of different stuff.
No, I mean the first ones I thought were Creed and Nickelback for sure.
Your favorite of all those bands?
Dave Matthews Band,
I go Hootie. Your least favorite of all of them?
Creed,
Hater.
0.5.
Hater. My least favorite. Mostly these are all my favorite bands.
This is the music I love. I still listen to.
I would probably put Smash Mouth there.
Really?
Because Insane Clown Posse was an incomplete. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Did you like Stained?
Yeah.
Oh, you're like, oh yeah.
I did. Then I got into a huge fight with Aaron Lewis recently. Well, 2-3 years ago.
Mhm.
The lead singer who's doing country now.
Mhm.
And I don't have a problem with him. I don't even know why we got into it.
I don't know why you get in with anyone.
I don't either anymore. I forget why I get into fights with people. I used to. I think I was on sleeping pills a lot back in the day.
Probably.
But I think it was him. He was bashing Luke Bryan and Sam Hunt. That's what it was in a clip. And I was like, shut up, dude. You're just only doing this because you're trying to do country now and it's not working.
Yeah.
But I think that's why. I have no problem with him now. But I'm pretty sure that's why. Okay, we'll take a quick break. We'll talk about new music and music stories after this. All right, new music out this week. Sam Hunt has a new song called Hard to Forget. Here you go.
Is that a sample?
Yeah, that is. Let it play.
It's my first one today.
I saw your sister at work. I saw your mama at church. I'm pretty sure I saw your car at
Mike, you know that sample?
Yeah, it's Webb Pierce.
Ah, Webb Pierce. He's the one that owned the big swimming pool.
Isn't that crazy? He took a classic country artist, made it sound new hip hop.
Sounds really cool.
Yeah.
I love this.
To us. But some of the haters
People are
like,
gonna hate this
"Stop,
song?"
stop." Yeah, all the people that are like, this is not country.
No, this sounds so good.
I think it sounds really good for for Sam's music. Like Sam knows who he is.
You've got a cold heart and cold hard truth. I got 'em bottled away.
I feel like Sam's music has like just a theme of even like the sad songs. There's still just a good happy feel from all his music. Like even like just like Cop Car. It's just the whole story of Cop Car is like it's not fun. You know, it's like, oh, they fell in love, whatever, they're breaking the law. but it's got such a cool feeling to it. Like I just love the way he writes. I love all his songs.
He didn't write Cop Car. Oh, he did write Cop
Yeah,
Car.
he wrote
Keith
Cop-
Urban
yeah.
put it out. That's right. That was the one that they had the big fight over. He wanted to keep it.
Yeah.
But one of his other writers gave it to Urban. It's a whole thing. Aubrey Sellers has a new record called Far From Home. Here is One Town's Trash.
One town's trash is another town's treasure. Just depends on what you measure.
Also, Cadillac 3 have a new album called Country Fuzz. Here is Jack Daniel's Heart. Yeah. Tennille Towns, Holding Out for the One. Here's this song.
All the boys say, hey, take a ride with me. Oh, pretty little thing, stay the night with
She has a
me.
new EP out called Road to the Lemonade Stand. And then Abby Anderson has a song called I'll Still Love You.
When the colors fade from
I was thinking about this. Of all these people, there are BobbyCasts with Abby, Tennille, Cadillac 3, Aubrey Sellers, just not Sam yet. We got 4 of the 5. If you want to go back and hear me interview them all.
Did you interview Jared from Cadillac 3?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Justin Bieber and Quavo, Intentions.
Picture perfect, you don't need no filter. Gorgeous, make 'em drop.
Again, I'm on a Bieber kick right now. Green Day, Meet Me on the Roof. Here you go. The Green Day's new sound kind of feels like a mixture of old Green Day and the Strokes.
See, I hear Smash Mouth in there.
Oh, shut up. There's no Smash Mouth. Meek Mill with Justin Timberlake, Believe.
Putting my face in the dirt on the ground, still I raise up the
I saw Meek Mill at the game when I went to the Knicks game.
Oh, did you?
He was sitting like 4 seats down from me. They put me on the freaking court
Yeah,
side.
court side.
And I was by far the least famous.
Was Jay-Z there too?
No, but Mary J. Blige was. It's Mary J. Blige, Meek Mill, Ellen Pompeo from Grey's Anatomy, John McEnroe, the tennis player.
What?
It was one of the girls from This Is Us. It's super famous, Robert Kraft. And they're like, they take all of us. And I'm in this group. They're like, okay.
Robert Kraft was there too?
They take us to the back room, and it's like where they put all the celebrities. And again, I know I'm not a celebrity, but everybody that had a free courtside seat. They take them back, and we're all in this back room, and everybody's just kind of talking, except for me, because I didn't know anybody,
Yeah.
and they were all like, "Who is this guy?"
They didn't recognize you from
No, because
Dancing with the Stars?
They
or
did
anything?
not know. You know.
Really? Wow, okay.
I know. It's weird.
Yeah, it's
But
gotta be awkward.
I was back there with Meek Mill was back there, and I went up to Meek Mill and I said, Meek, what's up? And I raised to give him. Have I told you the story yet?
I think so.
I raised to give him a high five, and he looks at me like. He didn't even lift his hand up and
What?
try to
Then
give
this
me a
is
high
in the
five.
private room where all the
This is
celebrities are?
As riders were walking into it.
Get out
I
of
was
here.
like, Meek Mill. I was like, Meek Mill, up here. And he looks at me and just goes,
That's
"It's
crazy.
awesome."
See, I want to be like that someday.
Yeah.
I would never be able to look at
Like-
someone like that and be like, yeah,
I'm
right.
good.
That's
He just did that.
crazy.
He went. I love the story though.
That's a great story.
The new #1 album in America is Lil Wayne with Funeral. Here you go. I didn't even know he put out a new record.
Wheezy.
You didn't listen to it?
No. Is it good?
It's pretty good.
Is he old yet?
He's still little. Because, I mean, he's still going to look young, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Even when he's going to be, even when
But I
he's
mean,
old.
is he considered old in the rapper world, Mike?
Good question.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, his biggest album was like in 2008, so.
And they look like they salute.
Funeral's #1, Lil Wayne. #2 is Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial from Roddy Ricch.
I don't know who that is. You don't know who that is? All right, good.
Music to Be Murdered by Eminem is at 3rd again this week. So there you go. Little Big Town says there are no lead singers in their band. A bit misleading because
Yeah.
Karen sings most lead vocals.
Right.
Occasionally Kimberly will and occasionally Jimmy will. But okay. They say they're all splitting the money the same. They're like, hey, we have to pick a lead singer. We're like, no, we're not going to do that. So they say they didn't pick a lead singer. 10 of the 13 songs on the new album, Karen sings.
Probably a respect comment, though, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Towards the rest of the band.
Halsey went off on a guy who was shouting her ex-boyfriend's name during her show.
What?
It was a pre-Super Bowl show. This happened about a week or so ago. Some idiot in the audience kept yelling, G-Eazy. And she actually went looking for the guy. She said, if you say G-Eazy one more blanket time, I'll kick you out of this building. Here is a clip.
In the club, and you were drunk. If you say G-Eazy one more time, I'll kick your out of this building. Oh, kick your text me. You want to get on the crowd? Who is it? It's you? Who said G-Eazy? Who's yelling it? Because I'll kick your out of the club. You don't disrespect me like that on my own show.
disrespect me like that. Somebody should do that in Miranda's show. Blake. Well, just to get that reaction. Don't respect me in my
Someone
own
will
show.
beat you up. For her, people will beat you up.
Probably, yeah.
Like that wasn't a Halsey show. It was Halsey doing a pre-Super Bowl show. So it wasn't like all the Halsey hardcore fans. If you did that at like a Miranda's show with all Miranda's people,
The fans would
somebody
beat-
would beat you up. Yeah. Noel Gallagher, they say, may have turned down $130 million for an Oasis reunion.
He's the guitarist.
Liam Gallagher tweeted that he and his brother Noel were offered $130 million for a tour, but that number was, quote, not enough for the greedy soul.
They hate each other.
Noel was the greedy soul. Did you watch the documentary?
Gosh, I feel like I started it. It came out a while back, right?
A few years. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
good.
I started it and I never finished it.
Really good.
They just fight so much, man. Like,
It's like the freaking Black Crows.
yeah,
Those two finally probably broke, and that's
Well-
why they got back together.
yeah.
I don't even know that for sure, and they're coming to do my show soon.
We'll find out for
Yeah,
sure,
yeah,
I
yeah.
guess.
The Rolling Stones and the Grateful Dead are going on tour.
Well, who of the Grateful Dead?
The Stones will finally begin the North American leg of their tour on May 8th in San Diego. They had to cancel it last year because Mick Jagger had heart surgery. Rock and roll.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Dead and Company, John Mayer,
Okay,
will hit out this summer. Wrigley Field, Fenway, and John Mayer will be
that's
playing.
cool.
I've never had interest to go to that. I'm the biggest John Mayer fan, but I don't care about watching him play guitar solos.
Yeah, they were playing Bonnaroo one night when I was there, and then we just left early. We didn't go.
because Dead and Company.
Just, I don't know. I just didn't really feel like it.
That's the deal. I think we're done.
Cool.
Feel good?
Yeah.
What do we learn from this? Limp Bizkit rocks.
That Greed's still terrible.
Hootie's never been bad. People should shut their freaking mouths.
And don't hate on Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah, agree.
They're
They
great.
should have been put in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
All right, that's the deal. Thank you, Mike. Do you have anything you want to add?
I think out of all those, I like Limp Bizkit now.
After replay,
Change your mind.
It kind of brought me back to like Trailer Park days. That's all everybody listened to. And I'm like,
they're definitely a trailer park
Yeah.
band.
I think
yeah.
that's what it was.
Yep. Also, Matchbox 20 shouldn't have been on there.
Nope.
Goo Goo Dolls shouldn't have been on there.
Nope. I agree with you.
People are stupid. We'll see you next time, everybody. Thank you very much. Bye. Hey guys, it's Bobby Bones. Welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and then go check it out. A lot of artists, a lot of songwriters, a lot of music. Welcome to the BobbyCast channel.